What's up, guys? Matt Faircloth here from the DeRosa Group, and my company owns thousands of units of multifamily, but that's not how we got started. We started with buying our first apartment building deal with other people's money, and this video is going to be all about how you can go out and buy your very first apartment building deal, large or small, depending on what your goal set is, with other people's money. Stay tuned. Let's talk our way through the tips, because we're going to talk you guys through the trail. See it? The trail. And buying your first multifamily deal with other people's money. Let's go. Okay, guys, so as we go through the journey of buying your first apartment building with other people's money, I want to just make a few assumptions, okay? Because today's conversation is going to be about how to get the other people's money to buy that deal. But the assumptions that I'm making, and these are some things that we teach our students in our accelerator program, is that you, listener, have chosen a market that this apartment building will be in, right? It can't be anywhere in the continental United States. It's got to be a market. And a state is not a market, so it's got to be inside of a state, inside of a city should be your target market that you're in. You should also have developed what your goal set is for the size of that asset. You should be developing roughly what vintage, how old it's going to be, if you feel like you've got the chops to do a big gut renovation. All these things define something called your buy box. And the assumption I'm making in today's conversation is that you have your buy box established with the asset class target, the size of property you're going to be looking at, and the market you're going to be shopping in. So with those assumptions, let's go ahead and get going. First thing, to find other people's money. Unfortunately, there's not like some website you can go to called otherpeoplesmoney.com where you don't know the other people, right? If you want to get started in raising capital, as I talk about in my book, Raising Private Capital, the 100% likeliest source of the initial capital for your deals, for you to get started in your capital raising efforts for your business, is going to be in your own personal circles. I get it. I know that's somewhat uncomfortable for some folks that are watching here, but the most likely people that are going to invest with you are people that like and trust you already, because you're you, right? So your immediate circle is likely where you're going to be going. And I'm going to talk in this video about how to get other people that maybe you don't know so well, that are maybe a step away from your initial circles, but the initial investments for your business are probably going to come from people that like and trust you already. That could be immediate family, friends, folks like that. So remember this fact, right? They need you. The only other source they have to build their wealth, and the reason why they would invest with you, is not because they're doing you a favor. They're investing with you because they want to build their personal wealth and achieve certain goals for themselves. Likely the only place that they know of to get that is Wall Street. There's nothing wrong with Wall Street, but you want to give them an alternative to build their wealth goals, achieve their retirement goals, send a kid to college, whatever it is that they're looking to do to make more money for their wealth nest egg for themselves. Whatever that is, whatever those goals are, you are offering an alternative. So remember, they need you, okay? Take that in for those of you guys that are a little uncomfortable with it. Once we've established that, I want to get into a method I've come up with to raise capital for your first multifamily deal using other people's money. And the process I came up with for you guys is called the ACC Method, okay? So let's break the ACC Method down into the first step, which is the A. A, guys, stands for awareness. And let's break that down into a few different segments here, right? You need to make that initial circle of people that I talked about aware of you, right? Maybe your mother, your cousin, your brother, the guy you went to high school with, and your sister-in-law, and your cousin Charlie, father of the kid that your kid plays soccer with or whatever. Maybe they're not aware that you are a budding, awesome, badass real estate investor. Maybe they don't know that. And it's your job to make them aware that although you might have a day job right now, but you need to identify yourself with them in the awareness of being a real estate investor. Even if you might be whatever it is, something super honorable, whatever it is, you need them to start having the awareness of you as a rising real estate investor. The way you do that is talk about real estate a lot. Maybe in your social media posts, not about how people can invest with you, make lots of money and lots of great returns. Don't do that. Build an awareness campaign on social media. Build an awareness campaign when you talk to people at the barbecue and they ask you how work's going, whatever your day job is, but tell them about how your real estate investing ventures are going. Weave it into conversation as often as you can, because I can tell you, people rarely change the subject when you start talking about real estate investing. It's actually an interesting topic. Share what you're learning as you guys share things like you learn here on this YouTube channel. Second, make people around you aware of how real estate investing can benefit them. There are many, many videos that we produced here at DeRosa Group and many, many videos out there in the world and articles on places like BiggerPockets and whatnot that you can share with potential investors about how real estate investing can provide them everything from tax benefits to tax shelters to places to grow their wealth long term and to just make a difference to a rising operator like you. Whatever the benefits are that you want to highlight for real estate investing, you need to make the people around you aware of those benefits, right? So that's the awareness campaign. Let's say aware of you and aware of real estate investing. Now, if you play the awareness game properly and you use social media the right way, you want to be an educator on social, not a shouter. Become an educator on social, which means shoot videos that teach, like this YouTube video here, or about your concepts or your journey and whatnot. Maybe read an article, take the highlights of the article and put it out on your social media feed. Whatever you want to do, teach people about these kinds of things. And maybe someone who is a derivative friend of yours on your social media, maybe somebody that's a Facebook friend of a Facebook friend, might see that post and say, that's interesting. Real estate investing, huh? I'd like to hear more about that. That might not be your mom, so to speak, or your cousin, but somebody who sees the feed. Because guess what? These are probably people that you went to high school with and haven't talked to in a couple of years, whatever it is. But they may see a social media post that you do educating about real estate. That's all part of the awareness campaign too. But be prepared to have real estate investing conversations with those that like and trust you, your inner circle. Don't be afraid to pitch people around your inner circle about real estate investing. Even if they don't get in, they'll at least help you sharpen up your muscles, okay? So that's the A in the ACC method for buying your first apartment building with other people's money. All right, let's get going and talk about the other two. Now let's cover the first C. The first C is consideration, okay? These are people that have become aware of what you're doing through all the awareness campaigns you're doing, talking to people, doing posts on social, letting people know in a strategic fashion what you're up to and everything like that. So you've done the A side of it. Now the C side is consideration. What that means is people are like, real estate investing, I'd like to learn more. And consideration could be a phone call. It could be book a call with me, or let's go have coffee with your Uncle Charlie. That's what that could look like. So the C part of it could look like, hey, Uncle Charlie, are you aware real estate investing can help you provide a tax shelter for some income you may have and help you shelter some of the wealth that you might have been building over the years and that you could invest in real estate with your retirement account? That could be the awareness, the A part. When Charlie says, real estate investing, that's interesting. What you're saying sounds good. I'd like to hear more. That means you're moving over to the consideration round, which means to take Uncle Charlie out for a cup of coffee means that you have a longer meeting to talk one-on-one with it. The online consideration part looks like you might not be able to fly out to Seattle to go see Uncle Charlie if he lives across the country, or if somebody on Facebook sends you a DM saying, hey, I'd like to hear more about what you're doing. The consideration leg is build yourself a capital W website. And there are many, many sources out there for very affordable, not going to cost you thousands and thousands of dollars. You can build websites very easily on sites like Wix. Wix is a site that you can use to build a very affordable website. I think it's a couple $100 a year for the basic website. But the reason why you want a website is you want a place for people to easily go to learn more about you and what you do and how maybe they can get involved with you as a real estate investor. Consideration in essence means, I'm interested, let me collect some more information. And you want to make it easy for them to do that. The C part, again, looks like either a one-on-one conversation if they're a part of your inner circle and they express interest, or if they're one step outside that you meet through social media posts or whatever that may be. Have yourself a phenomenal website that's basic enough, but tells a good, concise story about you, and of course, has a means to contact you, put in their email address, whatever that may be, because the result that you want to have out of the consideration round is an email address, contact information for them so that we can take you to the next C. So let's backtrack it real quick. A, awareness. The result you want there is either a, that's interesting. And you know what? Another result of the awareness round is a no thanks, I'm not interested. Keep counting my no's till I get a yes. Write that down. If you get to a no or a yes out of the awareness round, then you're just going to take them to consideration. Take them to coffee, tell them more, or take them to a website where they can learn a lot more about you and about real estate investing and why it's amazing. Let's move on to the next C. All right, guys, we're at the next step on the trail of buying your first apartment building with other people's money, and we're at the C. Okay, we've covered awareness, consideration. Now comes time to close, okay? And that means to get the clackety-clackety, the dollars in your pocket. You don't want to move to the close round until you've got a deal. So you're going to stay in the awareness and consideration round, build that mailing list, build the emails you got, build the interested parties, keep a nice little Excel spreadsheet, or if you want to get fancy pants, get yourself a CRM software that can send out regular emails for people, to people that are in your database, send out newsletters about what you're up to, articles you find. That's all part of the consideration round, and that's really just keeping everybody warm. So you're going to stay in that consideration round until you have a deal. And that's, like I said, just emails and stuff like that going out to your base, and keeping them warm, keeping them excited, letting them know what you're up to, letting them know you made a bid on a deal and missed, letting them know that you toured the market that you're really excited about, and shoot them some videos, put it on YouTube, all that other kind of stuff. Then, at some point, you're going to find yourself a deal. Then you got a deal, and once you're under contract, then you're going to blast out to your email followers and say, hey guys, guess what? Lucky you, I've got myself an opportunity. And the way that we structure this for what we do, build a deal deck. I mean, there's a lot to do, and we can unpack a lot of that for you guys in future videos. But in essence, what you're gonna do once you go to the close round is you're gonna decide if you're gonna go 506B, 506C, meaning taking accredited and non-accredited investors, or just accredited investors, whatever that may look like. Talk to a lawyer, of course. I'm not a lawyer, yada, 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 not giving legal advice, okay? But get a lawyer to talk to you about 506B, 506C. Use those emails you've collected to email those folks to make sure they're still interested in the opportunity you have. Build a phenomenal presentation to talk about the market, the deal, yourself. Really something super shiny that really answers a lot of questions that people can have. And then have a specific webinar where you invite everybody to come listen to you talk about that deal. If you guys would like to hear one of our webinars, we'll put a link down below so you guys can register to get one of our, we can send you guys one of our webinar decks for a deal that we've presented, and you can see how we do it. We'd love to share that with you guys. If you click the link down below, we can get you that information. There it is. Awareness, consideration, close. And the closing part is a bit of a strategy. It's a bit of a grind. It's breaking rocks in the hot sun, as some folks say, but it can be rewarding, but it's work, a lot of work in getting the dollars in to get it closed. So there it is, guys, ACC, and that's the structured method for you guys to put things together to close your first deal. A few tips: don't swing too big your first time, okay? I know it's super sexy and cool to go and try and buy a 300-unit apartment building, okay? We've done deals like that, but that was not our first deal, okay? My first syndicated deal with a big group of investors was a 10-unit apartment building. And behind that, we bought an 18-unit, okay? Super small. Maybe that's the size that you guys want to target. Not too big, not too small, just something that's just over your personal ability to buy, but not so big that you could fail. But make sure your buy box that you design for yourself, the unit count that you're targeting, is reasonable enough that with a little bit of stretch and a little bit of hustle, you guys can raise the capital from your community that you generate through the ACC round. Now, if you guys want to hear more from us, this is just a little taste of what DeRosa can teach you on how to raise capital for deals. We've raised about $65 million for real estate opportunities in our years of operations. We manage thousands of units of multifamily. So we can not just teach you how to raise millions of dollars for multifamily deals, we can teach you how to find them, how to underwrite them and analyze them. We can teach you how to manage them once you own them. And we also self-manage all those properties ourselves. So if you want to start a management company to manage multifamily assets, we can teach you that too, right? There's a lot DeRosa can offer you guys. So if you want to hear more about what DeRosa can offer, click the link below to hear more about our accelerator program, which is very affordable, and you get direct access to me and the DeRosa team that can teach you everything there is to know, everything that we know about multifamily, which is quite a bit. Also, you guys can register for a free webinar, because we have free webinars on a regular basis that teach you guys everything there is to know free, right, about certain topics around multifamily. So if you guys want to register for a free webinar, or if you want to hear more about our accelerator program, check out the links down below. We'd love to hear from you guys. Thank you for watching. I hope I've delivered some value to you guys in the ACC method, and I hope you guys can take some of the tools I've given you guys here and in my book, Raising Private Capital, to help you raise millions and millions for your real estate opportunities, and you guys can grow into a real estate investing juggernaut and meet your goal set for there. Appreciate you guys. Take care.